The year was year of Hurricane Milton. A storm was brewing, one that would go down in history. Not just any storm, but a monster. Hurricane Milton, a name that would soon be etched in the memories of many. It began quietly, almost innocently, as a tropical depression off the coast of Africa. A mere whisper of what was to come. But it quickly gained strength, fueled by the warm ocean waters, transforming into a formidable force. Milton morphed into a Category 5 hurricane, the highest and most dangerous category, a true titan of the seas. It churned across the Atlantic, its path aimed directly at the Caribbean islands, leaving a trail of fear in its wake. Fear gripped the hearts of millions as they prepared for the worst. Their lives hung in the balance, at the mercy of this unforgiving force of nature. Evacuations began and communities braced themselves. Milton's winds howled like a banshee, reaching speeds of over 150 miles per hour, tearing through anything in its path. The ocean churned violently, whipped into a frenzy by the storm's fury, waves crashing with relentless power. Torrential rains lashed down, flooding streets and homes, turning familiar landscapes into watery nightmares. The sky turned an eerie shade of gray, as if the world itself was holding its breath, waiting for the inevitable. Milton was a tempestuous beast, ready to unleash its wrath upon the unsuspecting islands, a force of nature that could not be tamed. Hurricanes are born over warm ocean waters. They start as clusters of thunderstorms, drawing energy from the heat and moisture rising from the sea. As these storms gather strength, they begin to rotate, forming a low-pressure center. This swirling mass of clouds and rain is called a tropical depression. If the depression continues to intensify and its wind speeds reach 39 miles per hour, it is classified as a tropical storm. Hurricane Milton followed this same ominous path. It began as a seemingly insignificant tropical depression, but it quickly gained strength as it moved over the warm Atlantic waters. The storm's rotation intensified, pulling in more moisture and heat, further fueling its growth. Within days, Milton had transformed from a tropical depression into a raging hurricane, a monster of the deep. In the past, hurricanes like Milton took people by surprise. They struck with little warning, leaving a trail of devastation in their wake. But today, we have an arsenal of technology to track these storms, giving us precious time to prepare. Satellites orbiting high above the Earth provide a constant stream of data, monitoring the storm's every move. Weather buoys bobbing in the ocean measure wind speed, wave height, and barometric pressure, sending vital information back to meteorologists. On the ground, weather stations track the storm's progress, providing local forecasts and warnings. Emergency responders use this information to plan evacuations, position supplies, and prepare for the worst. The technology we have today is saving countless lives, giving people time to seek shelter and protect themselves from the storm's fury. Maria Sanchez huddled with her family in the small concrete bunker her grandfather had built decades ago. The walls, though thick and sturdy, seemed to close in on them as the storm outside grew more ferocious. The air was thick with humidity and fear, making it hard to breathe. Every creak and groan of the bunker sent shivers down their spines. Outside, Hurricane Milton raged, its winds screaming like demons in the night. The relentless howling was a constant reminder of the danger they faced. The bunker shook with each gust, threatening to collapse upon them. Dust and small debris fell from the ceiling, adding to their growing sense of dread. Maria clutched her two young children, praying for their safety. She whispered soothing words to calm their fears, though her own heart raced with anxiety. Her husband, Miguel, a fisherman, had insisted they take shelter in the bunker, a decision that likely saved their lives. His experience with the sea had taught him to respect nature's fury. The storm raged for what felt like an eternity. Minutes stretched into hours as they waited for the tempest to pass. The roar of the wind was deafening, punctuated by the crash of falling trees and the shattering of glass. Each sound was a stark reminder of the chaos outside. Maria could feel the pressure changing in her ears, a sign that the eye of the hurricane was passing overhead. The sudden shift was both a relief and a warning. She knew this brief respite would not last. The calm was deceptive, a mere pause before the storm's second onslaught. The backside of the storm would soon unleash its fury upon them. They braced themselves, knowing the worst was yet to come. Section 5. when the wind whispered warnings, evacuation, and the importance of time. Days before Hurricane Milton made landfall, the whispers of danger began to circulate. Weather reports warned of the approaching storm, its potential for destruction growing with each passing hour. Evacuation orders were issued for low-lying areas and coastal communities. The message was clear: this storm was not to be taken lightly. Many heeded the warnings, packing up their belongings and fleeing inland to the safety of higher ground. They sought refuge with family and friends in shelters set up by local authorities or in hotels far from the coast. The roads were jammed with cars, a slow-moving river of humanity seeking safety from the storm. Section 6. Echoes of the Storm. Milton's impact on communities and nature. When Hurricane Milton finally moved on, it left behind a trail of devastation. Gone were the lush green landscapes, replaced by a brown, battered wasteland. Homes were reduced to rubble, their contents scattered like confetti. Power lines lay tangled on the ground, cutting off electricity to millions. The once familiar streets were now treacherous obstacle courses of debris and fallen trees. The storm surge, a wall of water pushed ashore by the hurricane's powerful winds, had inundated coastal areas, flooding homes and businesses. Saltwater intrusion poisoned crops and wells, leaving behind a landscape that would take years to recover. The air was thick with the stench of rotting vegetation and the acrid smell of smoke from smoldering fires. Section 7. The Unsung Heroes, First Responders in the Aftermath of Disaster. As the storm subsided and the sun peeked through the clouds, the true extent of the devastation became horrifyingly clear. Entire neighborhoods were reduced to rubble and the landscape was unrecognizable, but amidst the wreckage there were glimmers of hope. Communities came together, showing incredible resilience and determination to rebuild. First responders, the unsung heroes of disasters like Hurricane Milton, sprang into action. Firefighters, police officers, paramedics, and search and rescue teams worked tirelessly, putting their own lives at risk to save others. They navigated dangerous conditions, often with limited resources, to reach those in need. They pulled survivors from the rubble, sometimes after hours of painstaking effort, provided medical aid to the injured, ensuring that those who were hurt received the care they needed, and cleared debris to make roads passable, allowing for the delivery of essential supplies and further aid. They worked around the clock, fueled by adrenaline and a deep sense of duty to their communities. Their efforts were relentless, often going without rest. These brave men and women were a beacon of hope in the darkness, offering comfort and reassurance to those who had lost everything, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Their heroism and dedication inspired everyone around them, proving that even in the darkest times, humanity shines brightest. Section 8. Lessons learned, resilience forged, preparing for future tempests. Hurricane Milton was a stark reminder of the awesome power of nature and the importance of preparedness. In the aftermath of the storm, communities came together to rebuild their lives and their homes. They shared stories of survival, offered each other support, and drew strength from their shared experience. The storm also highlighted the importance of heeding evacuation orders, building stronger homes, and having a disaster preparedness plan in place. Governments and organizations work to improve early warning systems, strengthen infrastructure, and educate the public about hurricane safety. Section 9. The Science of Survival, Understanding Hurricane Categories and Warnings. Hurricanes are categorized on the Saffir-Simpson Hurricane Wind Scale, ranging from Category 1, least intense, to Category 5, most intense. The categories are based on wind speed and potential for damage. Understanding these categories and the warnings issued by meteorologists is crucial for making informed decisions about your safety during a hurricane. When a hurricane threatens, pay close attention to weather reports and heed the advice of local authorities. Evacuate if ordered to do so. Remember, your safety is paramount. No possession is worth risking your life for. Section 10. Climate change and the rising tide. A looming threat to our coastlines. As our planet warms due to climate change, scientists predict that hurricanes will become more intense and destructive. Warmer ocean temperatures provide more fuel for these storms, leading to higher wind speeds, heavier rainfall, and more severe storm surges. Rising sea levels, another consequence of climate change, exacerbate the threat of storm surge, putting coastal communities at even greater risk. The impact of Hurricane Milton is a stark warning of what the future may hold if we do not address the climate crisis with urgency. Section 11, a call to action, protecting our planet one storm at a time. Hurricane Milton was a tragedy, but it was also a call to action. We must take steps to mitigate the impacts of climate change by reducing greenhouse gas emissions, investing in renewable energy sources, and protecting our natural ecosystems. We must also work to adapt to the changing climate by strengthening our infrastructure, improving our early warning systems, and building more resilient communities. The time for action is now. The future of our planet and the safety of generations to come depends on it.